What's up, YouTube? Dom Universe. It's like a big ass queen bee behind me, the biggest queen bee I've ever seen in my life. Like that thick, that long. It's like 1.5 inches. She is huge, and I'm kind of skittish right now because she over there rolling on her back and shit. But anyway, we about to talk about how there are many gods. We gonna make this. I'm gonna try to make this quick because this is a lot of information. Because I know it's people, and especially the Christians, the Hebrew, the Judaism, and even the Catholics, even the Islams. Those are the main religions, and they only praise one God for some reason. I want y'all to know, most of the people in the Bible are deities. They're gods. God, I think I read that God was actually a title created by the Christians. But gods, there are many gods. Elohim, look at the word Elohim. Let's look at the etymology. El means God. El means God. When you add him next to El, you get gods. Him would make El plural, so there's gods. Excuse me. The Hebrew call God Elohim in singular for some reason, when actually that means gods. But let's get into it. In Africa, you have the voodoo religion, right? And they praise Papa Legba, Ogun, Dembala, and Agwe. And then also in Africa, all around Africa, you have them worshiping like Enanai, Oya, Ishu, Allah, Oko. Many gods. I think Africa has the most gods. And then you have Hindu. And if you don't know, Hindu is actually the first religion ever created. Hindu and Buddhism is the most spiritually advanced religion that exists. I don't care. You're not about to debate me. This not up for debate. It's the first religion created, and they're the most spiritually advanced. Those people meditate. Those people know about the doctrine or chakra system. Those people know that there are many gods. Those people they wear a bindi on their forehead, which represents the pineal gland. What other religion does that besides Buddhism? Maybe Taoism. Even Taoism know that there are many gods. Then Hindus, they praise Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the maintainer, Shiva, the destroyer, Kali, the blue god or goddess with that you see with the multiple arms and blue skin. And by the way, blue and green skin equals melanin. Extraterrestrials, they're extraterrestrials. Remember that. They helped shape the earth and turn it to what it is. They helped shape the universe. When they get near bright light, their skin turns or shines green or blue. But when they're out of light, they are very dark. Why do you think there are dark Indians? Darker than me. And I'm mixed with more African lineage than an Indian person. Take that in. So let's not, that's why race doesn't matter. That's why there is no such thing as black. Because even if you look at the Thailanders, they are dark skinned. But anyways, then you have the Buddhists. Oh, and before I get to the Buddhists, the Hindus, they call the soul Atman. And then Brahman is the world soul that unites all humans. So that's just like how in spirituality you call the universe the collective consciousness, or how low density religions say God is a part of all of us. We are all one, actually. But anyway, then you got the Buddhists who praise Naga, Terra, Avalokitesvara, and Maitreya. They have multiple gods. Then you have Sumerians who praise Enki, Enlil, Anu, Muat, and Nabu. Enki and Enlil, I'm pretty sure Enki and Enlil is Osiris and Set in ancient Egypt, because if you look up Osiris, the ancient Egyptian god, the Kemetic god, him and Enki has the same story. The gods who had sympathy for us when Enki and Enlil and the other Anunnaki created the human species. Excuse me. Then you have the Greeks. They praise Gaia, the earth. They have a god called Gaia. They also praise Uranus, Helios, the sun, Athena, Hermes, Aphrodite, Hades. And I hope you know, if you put the names Aphrodite and Hermes together, or Hermes and Aphrodite together, you get the word hermaphrodite. Hermes and Aphrodite are a male and a female. Set is a hermaphrodite. Satan is a hermaphrodite. Even if you look at pictures of the Baphomet, it's a goat man with breasts. A lot of pictures you see of Set, he has man and female parts. Then you have Africa. No, you got Rome. Now this one I can help you understand. Rome praises the planets: Jupiter, Neptune, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Saturn, Pluto, and Apollo. Apollo and Helios, right? Apollo and Helios. So the Greeks praise Helios, right? Helios used to be the name of the sun, which is also where the word hell comes from. Fiery place. Then you have Apollo that the Greeks praise. I mean, the Romans praise. Apollo also used to be the name of the sun. Those are their Jesus. Their Jesus equivalent. Then that is why Jesus is called the Son of God. That's where you get the name Son, the Son from, S-O-N. Jesus is the Son. Jesus not even his real name, by the way. There is no Jesus. Horus. Now let's get into the ancient Egyptian gods. Osiris, Horus, Isis, Ma'at, Nut, Tefnut, Geb, Mut, Thoth, Turet, Set, Anubis. Anubis is the one with the dog head. Set, Seth, Satan, Saturn. Osiris is... Oh, and Anubis, I'm pretty sure is like one of the most famous Egyptian gods. The one with the dog head, the dark god with the dog head, the jackal head. Yes, gods had animal heads. Look up genetic splicing, look up gene splicing. There are even genetic spliced animals on this planet right now. It's even a movie called Splice that talks about it. It showcases genetic splicing. That is why in Hindu they have a god with the elephant head. But anyway, back to the ancient Egyptians. Set was Satan. He killed Osiris, and that's when Isis, who is actually the Virgin Mary, took Set's body. Took Osiris's body. Osiris' body got chopped up into 12 pieces. That is where the story of Jesus dying on the cross came from. Osiris and Horus is Jesus, because Jesus' story is a composite of 3 people's story. So Osiris, the father of Horus, was killed, right? Isis took his body to the Nibiru star and put him back together. And he I think he came back, or was supposed to come back. Either way, he's back alive. He's not even in his tomb anymore. They found black goo in his tomb not too long ago. His tomb, yes, it exists. They found black goo in his tomb. And I also heard that they use that black goo to inject into military people in the military to turn them into super soldiers. Hey, I don't know how true that part is, but the black goo was actually found in his tomb not too long ago. So look, Osiris, that is where the story of the Jesus' second coming comes from. Ignorance. But anyway, that's where the story of Jesus' second coming comes from. So you can also even see the Nibiru star come and go to from Earth sometimes. I hope you know that. You can sometimes see the Nibiru star come to Earth and leave. It moves. If anybody around the world ever seen a star that just sits there in the sky and it blinks or changes colors and then just sits there, right? And then it leaves. It's not a plane. It's Nibiru, Planet X. And that will also tie Osiris's and Enki's story together also, because the Anunnaki come from the Nibiru star. Also, Osiris's skin was green. That's why Piccolo somewhat looks like him when he's wearing his white head thing and the fucking the shoulder shit. Because even though Piccolo looks like him somewhat, Piccolo is a draconian, a serpent, like a Dogon, like a Moldak, Namek. Moldak is a real planet. I think was destroyed. It was destroyed. Namek was destroyed, right, in Dragon Ball Z, right? So Piccolo is a serpent person, though. That is why when he get his arm chopped off, it grows back. Just like I think the lizard, that when you cut its tail off, it grows back. He's a serpent. He's a reptilian. And he's not a bad one. There are good reptilians, because there are multiple reptilian species, extraterrestrials. Let's not call them aliens. They were here before humans. I want you to know that. So we would technically be the aliens. Alien means someone who comes from somewhere to somewhere, like an immigrant. That is why you see it on like some forms of paper. Alien, like a tax sheet or a W-2 sheet. Now, also let's talk about how Jesus' story ties into the Egyptian gods. Hold on. It ties into the Egyptian gods. So Jesus' story comes from Enoch, Osiris, and Horus. Horus is the son of Osiris. Horus is the the god of the sun and the sky. He killed Satan because he killed his father Osiris. Set also tried to molest Horus. What else? Osiris and the second coming of Jesus. Osiris got his body put back together by Isis. Isis is the Virgin Mary. Isis was... Let's backtrack. Let's rewind to the Romans. So the Romans believe in planets as gods, right? Now, I don't have the most knowledge on this, but I know that Isis used to rule the moon before it was taken over by Satan. Horus rules the sun. Ra and Horus rules the sun. Ra is Atum, Adam. Ra means radiation also. That's where radiation comes from. Ra is also the mantra you use when you're working on your solar plexus chakra. When you're meditating, you say Ram, Ra. What else? Ra fathered Osiris before Osiris dethroned him. What else? I think Isis now rules Venus. What else? Apollo. They praise Apollo. Apollo was once the name of the sun. What else? They praise Mars. They praise Pluto. Pluto is Anubis. They also praise Saturn. I'm not that they praise Saturn, Set, but Saturn is Satan. Not that they praise him, but you get what I'm saying. That's a part of their culture. Now, Egyptians, let's get back to the Egyptians. Osiris is the Nibiru star that you may see sometimes in the sky. It's a bright star. It's a bright planet that is said to have oxygen in it, on it. I think 80%. So check this out. If you look at pictures of Nut and Geb, Nut and Geb is where the story of Eve comes from. Nut, the story of Adam and Eve also. Excuse me. If you do your research, most of the people in the Bible are gods and goddesses, and they have European names though. For some reason they have European names because the Bible is bullshit. Horus, Jesus' story also comes from Enoch. Enoch was the most advanced guru to ever walk the earth. The most advanced guru to ever walk the earth. Most spiritual being ever. He is what Jesus is said to look like. He looks like that. He was a melanated man who helped lead people in Babylon. He taught people spirituality in Babylon. He helped the people of Babylon because the people in Babylon were lost. That's where all hell broke loose back then. When after the Anunnaki created people. Remember, he is the great grandfather of Moses. Moses was a part of Satan's agenda. If you remember, if you look at old statues of Moses, he has devil horns. Moses' real name is Akhenaten, who is actually a Egyptian pharaoh. You may have seen him on pyramids looking up at a sun or whatever. He always praised the sun. He sunbathed, etc. That is where sun gazing started. But he praised the sun as if it was a god, even though it is. Oh, who else? Back to Nut and Geb, where the story of Adam and Eve composited story comes from. Nut and Geb is Adam and Eve. So Nut is the flat plane, the ground. If you look at pictures of them, you see Nut lying on the ground, and then you see Geb lying on the ground. He represents the earth, the flat plane of the earth. And then you see Nut bent over his body, and she has stars on her body. She represents the sky. She is the sky goddess. She is the sky. Even though I said Horus is the god of the sky, she is a goddess. So there are two, the god of the sky and the goddess of the sky, and then there are 2 to 3 gods of the sun, because sometimes these gods fuse themselves. So you got Amun Ra. Amun is a god. That's where the name Amen came from, because his name is also Amen. Amun, Aman, Amen. Amun Ra. You can look this up. Atum. Atum name is also Ra. Ra's name is also Atum. He also has secret names. That is our god. That is one of our gods. Then you have, let's get back to Osiris. Osiris and Enki had the same story because they were gods who had sympathy for humans, and their evil brother Set and Enlil didn't like us. He didn't like humans. He was jealous of his brother. That's why in the Bible you see the God saying, I'm a jealous God. He was jealous because Osiris was supposed to be the one to rule planet Earth. Osiris was a good god, but now we have evil ass Satan running the planet, running the 3D realm. That's really all I had to talk about, because I know it's a lot of people, even older people, confused about religion and whether or not what gods you should praise, and whether or not there's one God or not. This is just pieces of information to help you understand. There are multiple gods, and some of these gods of different cultures are equal the same God. Like I said, Apollo, Helios, Jesus, Horus are the same. They are the sun. If you look at there's a video on YouTube. If you look at it, it's showing planets up in the sky in the celestial waters. They look like big giant souls. They start to look transparent. This is why the moon is said to be transparent. This is why Jupiter, if you don't know about this, Jupiter is actually not solid. I don't think you can land on some of these planets because being that Jupiter is not solid, it is said that if you try to land on Jupiter, you're going to go through it. You're going to seep through it, and you're going to be falling for I don't know how long you'll be falling, but you're going to be falling through it for a long ass time, and days. And as soon as you get like towards the middle, you're going to die from heat. So then, back to the planets, you look up at them in this video, they look like giant souls or orbs. Like if you ever seen videos of people recording and they see an orb in their video, like I've done it before, recorded and seen the orb in my video. An orb is a soul of a person. Planets look like giant orbs, giant versions of orbs. So these planets are what the gods took on after they died. And that's why Satan is the planet Saturn. Then you have Pluto, which is Anubis. I'm feeling mad euphoric from the sun right now. I feel like I'm leaning. But anyway, that's about it. Time to wrap this up, folks. It's Dom Universe. I love y'all. Taking off. Subscribe to my channel. Peace.